Okay, we've got Chris, and then obviously there'll be translation in between. Who wants to go first? Thanks.
Chris. Tough going tonight against a very good French side, but despite the defeat, can you take positives?
Yeah, of course. I think it was always going to be tough tonight, not just because of the type of quality we're up against. I think you have to understand where we are mentally at the moment after the disappointment of not winning our last game and losing out for the playoffs. So there's still a bit of a hangover there. I think that will be there for a while. That's just a matter of time before we can put that out of our thinking. But I definitely have to say that's probably the best team we've ever played against. Top quality team. But it was good for us. We needed that in terms of ourselves. Ironically enough, in a game where they created chances, they always do. In the first half, it was a good spell for us, and they scored. And the second half, we have a good spell again, and then they score at the other end of the pitch. But overall, we give some of the younger ones a little taste of it, and that's invaluable for them. To play here, likes of Ethan Ampadu and David Brooks, it's their first taste of it, being on the pitch, that difference against one of the best teams in the world. That's invaluable, that type of experience. So, of course, you're a bit subdued because we lost the game. We don't want to lose, but there's other things that we need to focus on and take into consideration. So it was not all doom and gloom.
With that triple substitution,
can we just have it translated? Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Donc la question c'est, c'était un match difficile, mais est-ce qu'il y a des points positifs après le match? Oui, c'était un match difficile. La France est une équipe de qualité, mais il faut aussi prendre en compte que pour nous c'était difficile mentalement après l'élimination récente. Mais je pense que c'est peut-être le meilleur adversaire qu'on a jamais affronté, la meilleure équipe. Mais affronter un adversaire qui est aussi fort, c'est une bonne chose pour nous. On a fait un bon début de match, mais la France a marqué un but. Et c'était pareil dans la deuxième période avec deuxième but. On a fait entrer de jeunes joueurs, mais c'était difficile contre une équipe aussi forte que la France. Mais on prend des points positifs, oui, bien sûr.
With that triple substitution, Chris, did we get a glimpse into the future of Welsh football tonight?
Yeah, this is what the transition I'm talking about is these younger players. We've got a few more on the bench as well that we need to blood. And I know probably the games where we're playing to qualify, that's not for probably another year. So between now and then, we need to get as many of these young boys, as much experience as we can. So I was really pleased for them. Because you can't, international football is completely different to domestic football, and you can't, as much as you try to explain it to people, unless you're on the pitch and you're experiencing it, you don't know what it's about. So for these boys, Brooksy and Woody's already had the experience, so he knows. But again, he's still very young. It's very early for him. And for Brooksy and for Ethan Ampadu, fantastic experience, great experience. They're going to get better, stronger. I said earlier, I think in 12 months' time, the squad that'll be available to Wales, to us, will be a better squad, I think, than what we took to the tournament in France 12 or 18 months ago. So, like I said, it's not all doom and gloom. We have to look at the future. This will be a transitional period. These young boys, they're going to get better. They're going to add quality to us, and they're going to make us stronger and make the squad bigger.
Donc avec le remplacement de ces trois jeunes, est-ce que c'était un signe pour l'avenir pour l'équipe? Oui, c'est une transition pour l'instant et on veut faire entrer de plus en plus ces jeunes. Il y en a encore d'autres dans le pays. on a un an maintenant avant les prochains matchs de qualification, donc il faut que je fasse entrer de plus en plus ces jeunes pour qu'ils gagnent de l'expérience. Le foot international, c'est pas pareil que le foot en club. Il y a Ben Woodburn qui a déjà eu un peu d'expérience. Ce soir, on a vu Brooks et Ampadu. C'était une très bonne expérience pour eux. Et je pense qu'en 2018, on aura une meilleure sélection qu'on a eue en 2016 ici pour l'Euro. Mais c'est une période transitoire pour l'instant.
You said yesterday that you thought France might be one of the teams capable of winning the World Cup. Did what you saw tonight reinforce that view?
100%, 100%. I think. Didier's job is just as tough as mine because having a pool of players like France have, fantastic players, and if he leaves some players out, they're probably Champions League players that he's leaving out of the squad. He can only pick so many. So the headaches he has maybe slightly different to mine, but it's just as tough for him. So I think he's done a fantastic job. He's got a super team, play fantastic football, and I think, like I said earlier, they need a little bit of luck, and they need the players to obviously hit form. And if that happens, they will be there or thereabouts. No shadow of a doubt.
Donc hier, vous avez dit que peut-être la France pourrait gagner la Coupe du Monde. Est-ce que ce soir, ça a affirmé ces commentaires d'hier? Oui, c'est sûr. Didier Deschamps, peut-être il a un boulot difficile parce qu'il a tellement de choix. Et s'il laisse sur le banc, il laisse quelques joueurs qui jouent en Ligue des Champions sur son banc. Mais Didier fait du bon boulot. Il y a une très bonne équipe. Il faudrait juste peut-être un peu de chance pour gagner cette Coupe du Monde.
Evening, Chris. You mentioned that hangover, the young lads coming on tonight doing what they did. Did it feel in that dressing room like perhaps the start of something new, or is it still? Is that going to take a little bit of time to
I think we look at some of the younger players, and the big test is when you see in training games and training matches where you set your first team out and you put the team up against the first team, and sometimes quality is just not there. There's nothing you can do about it. But nowadays, when we set up 11v11, we've got some good strength and depth. They're inexperienced, and they're young, but they'll get older, they'll get more experience, and they'll get better, and they'll make the squad better. So, of course, I can see it. I've been in football long enough to know how it works. I know also you have to be patient. And we, in this situation where we need to be patient with some of the more experienced boys who have just suffered. I'm not talking about tonight, I'm talking about the Republic of Ireland game, obviously. A defeat, first one in the campaign, which was a bitter pill for us to swallow, and we need to cope with that, so that may take us a little bit of time before we settle down again. But once we do, and we will, like I said earlier, I genuinely believe that the squad will be better in 12 months than it was 12 months previously. So, the good young players, that they know they've got it all to do, but the potential is definitely there.
Okay.
Donc, vous avez dit que mentalement c'était peut-être difficile. Est-ce qu'avec ces jeunes joueurs, c'est un signe de renouvellement? Quand on fait un entraînement les jeunes contre les 11 titulaires, parfois c'est un peu difficile, mais maintenant on voit qu'ils s'en sortent de mieux en mieux. Ils vont se développer, mais il faut un peu de patience avec ces jeunes. Le match contre l'Irlande, c'était difficile, il faut maintenant juste un peu de temps. Et je pense, comme j'ai déjà dit, que la sélection en 2018 va être encore meilleure que la sélection galloise en 2016.
How vital is it that particularly the lads at Premier League clubs are given more time, more game time, because you can only have so many minutes, of course?
Of course, yeah. I think so Ash hasn't been playing for Everton. Sam starts sometimes. Kingy starts sometimes for Leicester. Sam starts sometimes for Burnley, not all the time. Neil Taylor hasn't been playing for Aston Villa. So yeah, it's not easy, I think. Again, that's international football. These are things that it's not new to me. It's not new to us. We're used to dealing with it now. Ideally, you want all the players playing at the highest level, playing all the time. But that's if you manage your wills, that's fantasy land. That's It's never going to happen, or very, very rarely. So we're used to dealing with that. But no, I thought the guys coped well tonight. Yeah, we were under the pressure at times, and you know they had the post twice or three times, but they do that to any team they play against. You know, they played here, they beat Holland 4-0, the top team, top team. So it's what we needed. I felt we needed a team as good as that. We needed to come up against them to take our mind off what happened last month.
Donc, est-ce que ce serait important pour votre équipe que les joueurs jouent un peu plus en Première Ligue? Ben, il y a beaucoup de joueurs qui ne jouent pas tout le temps en club, mais donc ça c'est difficile, mais c'est normal pour nous, pour le pays de Galles, c'est difficile d'avoir les joueurs qui jouent tout le temps dans les meilleurs clubs. La France a gagné 4-0 contre les Pays-Bas, donc c'est une équipe extrêmement forte. Donc jouer contre une équipe comme la France ce soir, c'était une bonne chose pour nous.
Chris, I know speaking to you and the other coaches, the eligibility thing isn't a concern for you. I know you know the players are committed, but when Ethan plays for Chelsea, you know there's going to be attention on him. How much does it help you? How much does it make you more sure that guys like Ethan and David will remain committed to Wales, given that they've made their debut, albeit in a friendly game?
I can't. Yeah, like I've said before, you know, there's nothing. They're not legally bound to us, you know. We explained some years ago to all the young players that we see coming through. It's the same thing. We deal with it the same way. We speak with their parents and explain the pathways, and that's all we can do. There's nothing we can do if any player changes their mind. We can't, you know. That's just how it is. But I think players we've got with us, you know, I see them, I work with them, spend time with them. I would be, you know, being football is, you shouldn't be surprised at anything, but I'd be amazed, if I'm honest with you, you know. I think both players are firmly committed to us. But at the end of the day, there wouldn't be anything we could do. This is how it is. But I see the players when they come in with us, they train with us, they're part of us now. We see that, you know, and hopefully that will remain the case going forward, because I do think there's a lot of good things to come from this squad of players, with your Brooksies and your Woodies and the Ethans added to what we've got. You know, that makes it a pretty good squad. And I don't think there'll be a surprise. You can never tell, of course, but I don't think there'll be a surprise.
Donc, vous avez des jeunes joueurs qui pourraient jouer pour d'autres pays. Est-ce que ça, c'est un problème pour vous? Ces jeunes joueurs, ils ne sont pas contraints à jouer avec nous. Nous, on parle avec leurs parents, c'est tout ce qu'on peut faire. Ils peuvent changer d'avis, mais moi, je serais étonné s'ils changeaient d'avis, changeaient de pays. Mais c'est comme ça. J'espère qu'il reste et je suis optimiste pour le futur avec ces jeunes joueurs.
And Chris, just where Ethan is concerned, he's played holding midfield tonight. He's done so for Chelsea. But I think in training sessions he's played as a defender with Wales. Where do you see his long-term future?
I think he's capable of playing both. His frame, his athleticism, his understanding of the game. He's a great communicator for someone so young. Very confident in possession of the ball, and so at the moment it's a tough one to call. You know, he could end up playing a holding midfielder or centre back. I remember, and of course he's got a long way to go before you can liken him to someone like Rio Ferdinand. But I remember Rio Ferdinand coming on the scene at West Ham as a young boy, playing midfield, and obviously gravitated backwards to a centre back. Probably Rio's in the last 20 years the best centre back in the Premier League. And I'm not saying Ethan's going to go on. We never know what's going to happen in the future. But he's definitely at the moment capable of playing both positions. You know, modern day football, you centre-backs need to start play, start possession. So they need to be confident in possession. Good with the ball, he's that. He can defend 1v1. And like I said earlier, he's a good communicator and a good all-round player. He's very, very young and he's got a lot of work to do, we know that. But, you know, at the minute, he can play either at the back or hold the midfield.
Donc avec étant Ampadu, il a joué comme milieu ce soir. Mais de par le passé, on a dit qu'il jouait plus en défense sur les entraînements. Quel est son avenir? Il peut faire les deux. Il a de bonnes qualités physiques. C'est un bon passeur du ballon aussi. Donc les deux. Il me rappelle un peu Rio Ferdinand quand il a commencé à jouer quand il était jeune. Il a commencé en tant que milieu de terrain. Après, il est devenu défenseur. Il était un des meilleurs défenseurs de la Première Ligue. Et je ne dis pas qu'Ampadu va faire pareil, mais c'est un bon passeur et c'est important pour un défenseur aujourd'hui.
OK, thank you. Diolch yn fawr. Merci. Thank you.
Diolch, merci.
Diolch.